I want to bring in Dali Yang. He's a political science professor at University of Chicago. He's an expert on China politics and economics. Professor, welcome.
Pleasure.
So what are the reasons behind the change in the policy going from one child to two, and why now?
Well, the most important and pressing matter is really demographic changes. The Chinese population is rapidly aging. And with that actually come increasing liabilities for Social Security, for retirement, and so on. It's simply unsustainable for society if it doesn't reproduce itself. So in that sense, this is very important. In fact, as part of the CCTV decision for the 13th five-year plan, the government is also going to be unifying the national Social Security system. The other aspect is the birth planning policy is a deeply coercive policy, and it created a lot of sorrows and other problems as well, including the gender imbalance. So by relaxing the policy, it's by no means being abolished. In fact, even by relaxing it, it can alleviate some of the issues.
So do you think many couples will actually take advantage of the new policy and choose to have two children when so much of the one-child policy has been part of the social norm?
Yes, indeed. But I do think actually in the short run, there will be a pent-up demand. There have been, for example, the Chinese press has been talking about many families that only had one child, and then the only child disappeared, died, or accident or something. The parents actually are left in a very sad situation. So as a result, actually, many people in their 40s, for example, really feel like they could give it another try. And of course, if there is also the issue of peer pressure. In many ways, as more people begin to think about having another child, that could also create some sort of a contingent effect. I think we have to look and see, wait and see, but ultimately, I do think actually in the short and intermediate term, there will be a little boost. But over the long run, however, with rising costs and so on, actually it's still going to be a struggle to boost the fertility rate overall for the country for the long run. And in that sense, I think actually the Chinese government needs to think about further relaxing the policy. But of course, the face of vested interest, there are a lot of people in this bureaucracy that are dedicated to really controlling the population growth, and they don't want to abolish the system right away.
You said that China should further relax the policy. Do you mean allowing families to have more than two children?
I think, immediately we can begin to think about actually targeting more than two per family, because when you allow for only two children per family, some families only have one, or perhaps don't even have a single child. So the average, the total fertility rate will still be below two, below replacement. So I think actually China should aim for at least some sort of replacement level. And when that stabilizes, it can simply go ahead and abolish this bureaucracy or dedicate them to serving the population rather than controlling them.
And what happens if this policy, Professor, does not work?
I think that will actually, already the last relaxation did not produce the desired effect. So that's why they are rushing towards further relaxing the policy. If it really doesn't work, obviously it's going to, over the long haul, slow down the economy, which is already slowing, but also increase the challenges of Social Security, of providing for retirement for the older generations. Many families, we can just imagine many families today have only one child, two parents, and four probably grandparents, and that's simply not a sustainable structure.